I want to show you guys something interesting with this Weed It Dash. That's this monitor right here. This is new for the Weed It system. We've been running it this year. And you can see this strip right here. See, it's all solid. Yeah, zoom out a little bit here. All solid there, but then here's the spot spraying. What's been happening is we've got fallow ground that normally I'd be doing 5 gallons an acre work to, okay? Well, there's just enough weed pressure that if I do spot spray, there's enough targets out there that it's going to do 5 gallons or more an acre. What's nice about the Dash is you can cap it, so I can actually say, hey, I don't want to do more than 5 gallons an acre. That's the max. Before you couldn't, during spot spray mode, it would just unload. There were a lot of weeds. It just, yeah, didn't take long to empty your tank. But here's the cool part. So I came into this field because the one I was just in had too much weed pressure. I said I'm going to broadcast it. Broadcast means full coverage, means full boom's on. I can spray a lot faster because I don't have to worry about sensors. I'm not trying to sense any weeds. There's enough weeds there that the sensors really do nothing. I'm just going to go as fast as I can. When I got into this field, I'm like, oh, this looks cleaner. I'm looking across and I'm like, it just doesn't look like the weed pressure. That last field I was in, that was literally just right back there. So as I pulled into that field, which is that line right here, I stopped, did a couple setting changes on my Dash, which is real easy to do. In about 30 seconds or so, I was switched to spot spray mode. I've been spot spraying, and now I'm averaging 2 gallons an acre. That's nice. Before it was actually quite a process to go in between spot spray and full coverage with the old system. With the Dash, it's fast. So give me savings when I can, and then there's other areas it's like, nope, I'm just gonna send it. And we got the Apache out going now too, because that doesn't have the weed system on it, but there's some fields that were heavy enough weed coverage that, at that point, we might as well full coverage it, so I will have another sprayer going. I'll show you something else pretty cool. So right now I'm spraying against my neighbor's field. This is spring wheat over here, but I'm spraying right now would absolutely devastate that crop, okay? And there's a slight east wind, which is blowing that way, just barely. So I should have some serious drift on him right now. But what I did is I turned off, so I could open up parts of the boom. I turned off a couple of the sensors, or the nozzles, the PWMs on that end, so it's missing a little bit there. 2, I slowed down to like 6 miles an hour. And then 3, I went to my margins here. That's how long the nozzle stays on when it spot sprays. So right now I usually have it set at 12 inches, so it sprays a foot. So if it sees a weed, it sprays a foot across the whole thing to make sure it gets that weed. So I turned it down to 8 inches. So yes, there could be possibly some weeds here that I might not get product on, but the moment that thing sprays is so intermittent that I am not creating much drift. There's hardly anything flowing. And yes, it's long and slow and grueling to get down this whole field, but at the end of the day, I should have basically 0 drift into my neighbor's field, and I'll have a nice clean pack. But once I get a whole boom width, then I can go back to regular spraying, pick up the speed, turn everything on. So, just kind of neat. Thought you guys might like that. Hopefully my neighbor likes it too. I hope that I'm not wrong and I find out that I had some drift into his field, and if that's the case, I'll be making a phone call. Just roll into the new field, taking a look here before I start spraying. I think this one's a candidate for spot spray. There's a little bit down the bottom down here, but it looks like I think we'll be under 5 gallons an acre if I do spot spray. So let's set our monitor up here. Start a new job, create job. So I've got the MagnoJet 3030s or 3003 spot spraying, 45 PSI, ideal speed I have at 13, but I don't go 13, I go like 12, rate 5 gallons an acre, so that caps it at 5 gallons an acre. Create job, start, and then start. We're good to go. Up on my Viper, I make sure my target height's about 29 inches. Turn on the auto boom, which I think is essential for a weed system because it keeps your boom level as you go. Make sure my cruise control's on, turn on my auto guidance switch. Let's turn on the water pump. So I got pressure now, pressure's loosened up, 50 some PSI. We come in down the corner down here, I'll start it, and I'll start going around. I'll make my perimeter lap, and then I can use the AccuTurn to turn around at the end of the field, which is on this monitor. So let's turn on the spray. There we go. Spot spray is enabled. We are currently spraying. There's gonna be a lot of activity down here because this is that bottom right, so there's a lot of growth. But as we get up top, I'm hoping that it'll come out to be less than 5 gallons an acre, and we'll save some chemical. And if it's not, then I'm going to switch to full coverage. Just aligned with the crop over there, the wind's blowing towards me, so we're good as far as drift goes. I had my old tire tracks to line up, which is nice, but I went ahead and set my auto guidance line right here, so we're tracking. Right now we're doing 5.4, 5.0 right here. It says no saves achieved using this spot or dual, consider using full coverage. So little weedier up top here. As it turns out, my prediction might have been wrong. It looks like there's enough weeds in this field that I might as well be full coverage. So let's stop, turn off the spray. Let's go into settings in here. Actually, I gotta stop for just a second here. Stop, go into options, edit, sprout spraying. Let's go full coverage. I'm gonna change my settings here, 45 PSI. Let's go, these nozzles are big nozzles, so I gotta go fast. 5 gallons an acre. So what I'm gonna do now, because I don't wanna go out and change all my nozzles, instead, so let's change our target height. I'm gonna go to 32 inches. So we're gonna raise the boom up a little bit. Back up a little bit so we get a run at this, so we don't have any misses. Start. Okay, so now it's reprogramming all the sensors for full coverage mode. And now I'm gonna be able to rip, like, go fast. Wait for it. All right, we're good to go. Power guidance on. Let's go. Now we are spraying full broom. We can go up to 17. Now we're getting some acres done. I'm not sure what happened. I was just driving down the road and then I heard almost like a tire pop and hissing. I pulled over and I checked all the boost lines. It's not tires, so it's gotta be boost related. But the turbo sounds different. Something's not right. That's not a normal sound, so I'm taking it back to the yard. We're gonna find out what's going on. Hopefully it's just a leak somewhere and it's just blowing boost out, but I wonder if the turbo just went. You'd think it'd be way more catastrophic than that. I don't know. We're gonna find out. That's a fairly new turbo. It's not that old. I think that sounds like a boost leak for sure. You can hear it. Hear that? It's either like the vanes are rubbing or there's air leaking somewhere. I don't like that. Let's see if we can get it back. Come on, engine ship. Gotta love automatics. You can't force it into high gear without giving it RPMs first. Well, I guess probably I'll take this boot off here. We'll take a peek inside at the compressor side and see what that looks like. I don't know. I thought maybe one of these joints, these synthetic joints that hold the boost tubes together might have blown a hole, but it's just making a weird sound. I don't like it. So. I don't see any evidence of... Oh, that looks good. She's spinning free.
You heard a squeal or a...
Yeah, something popped somewhere.
Oh.
And now I can tell it's the turbo, the boost is not. So I thought maybe the turbo was going out, but I don't think that's it. All right, he's gonna try starting and see if we can find out what it sounds like here. Okay, I think that's what it is. It finally broke this elbow out here. So I'm hearing the exhaust screaming out of this thing. So I guess that's not initially a bad thing. It's just gonna be loud, but that's where I'm hearing the air hissing is right there. All right, well good. That's not a bad problem to have. We custom made this elbow, and so the flange, I think was the original flange that went on the turbo here, but you can see that gap. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a, yeah, it's breaking off inside there, so. All right, well, I'm just gonna keep running it. We'll blow exhaust out that. Just won't go off the top, but it'll make for an interesting sound while I'm running it. Oh, that's, I'm a little relieved because I got a lot of spraying ahead of me, and I was like, oh great, are we gonna be down the brute? This is our workhorse for spraying. And that's a simple fix too. It's just a new flange. Let's see what that thing sounds like again. You can definitely hear it up here. Whatever. Come back to fill up, and right before I wound up, I noticed the boom was moving more than it should when I speed up and slow down. I've seen this happen before. This is just a regular soft, I don't know, the grade 3 or 5, whatever it is. Not a grade 8 bolt. They had these pins right here And this is like a sway bar kind of. It's what gets the boom the ability to kind of sway back and forth between the two when you're turning to take the stress off so you don't break stuff. Well, these have been breaking, these bolts, so I just keep pounding new bolts in. And they break, I mean, but like one a season or something like that. Well, so I put one in, I was like, okay, we're good to go. And I happened to walk over here, looked at this one, and I'm like, oh, the bolt was in there. I just took it out, but uh-oh, look at that. So I'm taking this snap ring off, gotta take that pin out. And then I got the cherry picker holding this up. Gotta take that snap ring off, take that pin out. Then this piece can come off. And then that one, there's a bolt back there I gotta take off and I can put on the bench. And then I'm gonna bevel the edges really good, turn the heat way up, weld it all up, put it back in here and keep going. I also noticed probably the head of the bolt broke off and it was putting stress on, can I get the camera in here? This little piece right here. And I see it's breaking this piece off, or cracking it. So, this boom is a little bit much. This boom wasn't, I mean, the center section wasn't designed for this boom. This boom was aftermarket. And it works for the most part, but it's just not heavy enough for this boom. So, these are things we're learning. But I've got a lot of acre sprayed with this over the years, but now is not a good time to go down. So let's get this fixed. I swelled it. I knew I was going to. I don't swell the top yet, so let's take the top snap ring off and get it out of here. So I gotta grind the top off. There we go. Oh, good. Oh, I see it's hitting this hydraulic hose down here. Oh, that's nice. All right. There we go. Okay. Pins out. There we go. See the rust in there? That's been breaking for a while. I just have not known that. Huh? Well, I don't know. It could be all that rain we had recently. That's new rust. Well, let's keep going. It'd be really nice if you could fit on there. I just can't do it. This impact is just a hair too long. I knew it. Oh, let's give you a pointer. There. Got it. Let's go weld this thing up. All right. So what I've done is I V'd the tip of it with the plasma cutter because that's the quickest and easiest way to do it. And that way I'll fill that full of weld when we get this thing turned up hot. So let's grind off the rest of this powder coat, figure out what orientation this thing needs to be, put it in the vise, get it up, line it, pull it tight, tack, 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 put it down, and then start welding it. Yeah, let's get to it. All right. I think it'll work. I'll let it cool down a little bit. Maybe do the traditional throw some paint on it and bolt it back up. And looking at this though, see it's oblonged a little bit. I think it's been taking a lot of abuse. We might have to engineer this, cut this out, and put bigger sleeves and bigger pins at some point. Or I just need to take it easier in the sprayer. Maybe I'm just too rough of a driver. Oh, I could have had about 150 acres sprayed by now. Or more. Gotta love it. It's okay. First big breakdown of the season for spraying. It's not too bad. All right, just buttoning it back up. So far everything's lining up. So I must have had my welds in mostly the right place. This is gonna be a little tricky though, because I think, well, actually, oh, there we go. Yeah, that'll work. Beautiful. Beautiful. That was an easy fix, honestly. About an hour, hour and a half. But that's a lot better than a twisted up bent boom. So we're all together here. Pins back in there, pins on that side. I'll keep an eye on that other side, see if it decides it wants to crater like that. That'd be a bad day. Okay, we're together. Let's hit the road.
I'm in the spray truck. This is the last day of chem follow. We started chem following, I think it was Monday. Let's see, this is Thursday. Yeah. So we knocked out over 5,000 acres in these days. In fact, not full days on the beginning. Maybe it was Tuesday. It was Tuesday we started. All right. So anyway, 3 days we knocked it out. I'm heading up north. They have about 1,000 acres left, if that, and then we're going to be done. Anyway, what I have back there, it's getting all dusty, and I don't know if you can see it. In case after I'm going to fill them at a location, and then they're going to move to another location, what we call Adventureland, way over across the interstate. And then I'll leave this truck there, and then I'll jump on my e-bike. I've got an e-bike, and then I'll ride it back, and then later I'll go back to get it, because they'll finish up those acres over there, and hopefully we got enough water and spray. I got it figured out. We should. So, okay, on the road again. All right, well, I got one of them filled. The other ones should be here shortly. Decided just to leave the truck right here in this area. They'll figure out where if I need to move it or not, but I'm not going to be here. So I've got a mode of transportation right there. That's a fun bike. Yep. It's a TST 4002, I guess, whatever they call that. But anyway, it's kind of a cross. It's got the 4-inch tires, a little bit lower than a regular e-bike, but it does go around 20 miles an hour on the flat if there's no resistance. And then if you unlock it, which I did, it goes to a class 3, and then I can get about 28 out of it. And it goes probably 30 miles if you're using it. That's the capacity. If you pedal, it's going to be a little longer, but yeah, it's a fun bike. But I'm going to head back, and then they can call me if they need anything, and I'll be back, or I'll be bike. All right, talk to you in a bit.
This is a good bad situation. I love these. I hate these. Love and hate them. Rain cloud coming right there. That's my last field, basically, of the fallow operation. I'll be done spraying for like a month if I can finish this. It's on the farthest part of the farm. It takes forever to get here. And it looks like it's going to open up and rain on me. And I should probably stop spraying because it could wash the herbicide off the plants, which is wasting money and time. I got to come back and spray it again, which means I have to drive over and see if it did kill or not. But we love the moisture, so how do I be upset that it's about to rain on me? Shut her down. Well, it broke up above me. Went that way, and it went that way. So we're good for now, but they're still talking the big one later. So we'll see how far we get. That's it. It's finished. Didn't rain on us, but there is clouds coming. And I picked up a friend. But he's not talkative at the moment, so let's go home.